Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be putting together the IKEA Trofast and easy to follow step-by-step instructions because this is definitely not a tech show. First things first, let's get the box open. Wait a minute. Maybe we won't use this time. It says not to use a knife, so I'm going to listen to the instructions. Not sure if there's anything soft I want to be breaking using a sharp object. Since I've decided to shred my hands instead of what's inside this box with my knife, let's talk about a little bit what I'm putting together. So the IKEA Trofast is a toy storage bin, comes in different variations, different bin colors you can choose to make it your own, and also it seems like there's a lot of pieces, but I don't think this is going to be too difficult of an assembly today. Let's dump out our hardware kit just so we can see what we're working with. Looks like there's a lot of different sizes of similar pieces, so I want to organize them into the same pieces so it's easier to see. One thing I do like is that the instructions are printed to scale, so you can line them up to the page here to find out exactly if you have all the pieces you need and to identify them. This slide piece is a little bit too big for the instructions, but you can kind of see what that looks like here. First step is to grab this large frame piece, make sure the holes line up to the ones that you have, and then we will grab these two boards here. Then we'll grab 4 long dowels. We'll insert those dowels into one side of each board, so two dowels on one board and 2 dowels on the other board. Then stand up the frame piece, making sure that the holes that are right next to each other on the edge are facing down on the floor. And then we're going to insert those small boards with the dowels through it. The dowels will go all the way through, that looks fine. Then grab 4 more dowels and put it on the other side of the small boards. We'll grab another frame piece. And then do the same thing on the other side. Once those are in, tip the assembly up on its side like this so we can see the bottom. 4 small dowels this time. Once we have these dowels in, it's now time for our base piece. Tilt the assembly back down and line up the holes on the base piece with the dowels we just put in. Now grab 2 more small boards and attach them to the dowels that were sticking out from the first step. Then we're going to turn it around and do the same thing on the other side. Now snag 4 more small dowels and insert them into the holes right on top of the assembly here. Now that those are in, you guessed it, it's time for our second base piece that goes on top here. This is to show where to line it up at. Just lift it up on here on top and line up the holes to the dowel. Four short dowels. insert them into the outermost holes on the top here. It won't fit in the other one, so you shouldn't have to worry about putting it in the wrong place. And we'll grab one of our long boards here. Well, there was supposed to be a hole there. Hang tight. There we go. Might have to clean it out a little bit. It was a bad drill from the manufacturer side. And you should be able to line it up to the dowels here and place it on the top. Same goes for the other side. Cleaned out the holes again because they looked about the same as the other ones. And line it up to the dowel and make sure it's flush. Okay, here's the fun part. 12 small dowels, and they're going to go into all of the holes here up on the side, and I'll show you on the location here. Now we get to line this up to the end piece. Now this is probably the trickiest part of the whole assembly, but they do line up pretty well, so it's not too bad. Just make sure that you can get at least a little bit of the dowel into each of the holes before tapping it down, and you should be alright. Now we'll grab 6 of these long screws. Oh yeah, and the tool that came with the kit. And these screws will be used to hold down that side piece that we just put on with the 12 dowels. It might take you a little bit if you're just using this little hand tool, but it's not too bad. Get them all down, tighten evenly, and you should be good to go. If you thought that last step was such a blast as I did, oh, you're in luck because you get to do that same thing on the other side. Okay, got the other side all screwed down. Now we need to flip the entire assembly over so we can start working on the next phase. Now we'll grab all of our plastic slides. I said all of them. There you go. Now these slides will fit into the holes inside of the side pieces here just like this. It is tapered and directional, so pay attention to where the tapered edge is. And then do that for the rest of the slides. After you're done, it should look a little bit like this. Now we can take some of our little screws here, and then all of those slides that we just tapped in, we get to screw in with these little screws. So get a screwdriver. If you don't have one, get a ratcheting screwdriver. That's even better. But yeah, it's going to take a minute to get all these screws in. Okay, it looks like that's it for the assembly. Now we just... What is that? What are these? I have found nothing in this instruction booklet about these. Where do they go? Okay, let's just look at the assembly and see if we can find where they go. After taking a quick look, it wasn't the end of the world. There's 4 holes here on the bottom that hold the base pieces in. So, got the screws in, we're good to go. There's your assembly. Now, all we have left is the tubs that are just serve as drawers. They're pretty customizable. You get various colors, sizes. I've got 3 small white ones and 3 large gray tubs here, and we just slide them in. They fit into where you want them to go, and they look pretty good. And there you have it. This is the Trofast assembly. I hope my instructions were easy to follow. If you've made it to this point, give that like button a click and the subscribe button. It really helps me out. Thank you.